Greetings, planty people, and welcome back to my jungle. And yes, I finally dyed my hair. My roots were getting on my nerves. I was putting it off for the longest time, and here we are. So today's video, as it's October now actually, yeah. So as it's now October, I'm definitely feeling the spooky season. Well, it's my favourite season, so of course I'm really feeling it. And in the halloweenie spirit, I thought I would share some kind of spooky plants that have a kind of halloweenie aura. They're not necessarily scary plants, they're just quite kooky and weird, and I thought I'd show you. But to be honest, I like quite a lot of plants with a spooky aura as it is. It was a bit of a struggle to kind of narrow it down, so I probably have like 7 or 8 plants to show you. So let me know what your favourite spooky plants are, drop them below, and let's get started. Okay, so shall we start with an obvious one? I love this plant so much. So this is the Bonia Ferox, and some people absolutely hate this plant, and that's alright. Everyone has their acquired tastes with plants, but this one, it's got these kind of goth studs on it, and I'm obsessed with this. I wanted this for the longest time, and when I saw it in person at the RHS show last summer, I was like, well, I need to get it. I think I got it from Micro Exotics, where I get my isopods from. I was warned that this one is more of a terrarium plant, so I kind of keep it in betwixt all my other plants, and I get quite good humidity in here, so I haven't really had an issue too much with it crisping. I mean, there is the odd scuff from me bringing it back. That kind of always happens when I bring a plant back because I'm clumsy. But if you really want a spooky plant, get yourself one of these, and even on the backs of the leaves, it's got a spooky feel to it. I just love it, and it hasn't really grown much for me, but I've recently seen it's got these little nubs. They're actually fluffy. It's really weird, and I just can't wait for this one to get huge. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. If I had to choose one spooky plant, it'll be this one. And what's a spooky plant video without a carnivorous plant? And this one, I was told in the comments of my carnivorous plant video, what was it called again? Rebecca Sopper? Thank you for letting me know though, because it was just labelled as Nepenthes. And I like this one specifically because it's got that kind of rich burgundy look. And I just think it's spooky in general because it eats bugs. That's weird. It's cool, but it's weird. And I got this one as a tiny little baby. I don't even think the little cups were red. They were just kind of like a muted green, weird colour, almost a bit brown. And I just keep this one in my bathroom, in some kind of soggy, mossy soil. This is just an empty jam jar. It likes nice bright light and lots of humidity. That is the key of carnivorous plants. And just look at how big these cups are getting. It's almost as big as my hand. I mean, I don't have massive hands, but hand for reference. It's just beautiful. And it's got these gorgeous like kind of spikes. So if you're thinking about getting one of these and you're a little bit scared, the key is just bright light, humidity, likes to stay wet, and keep these little cups wet. And if you don't, you'll get these little crispy ones. I probably need to chop those off. Maybe. I definitely want to get lots more of these Nepenthes, but I don't have any room. Okay, so the next spooky plant is quite an acquired taste, and I got this one at the Birmingham plant swap. You'll either love it or hate it. It's a bit like Marmite. Now you're probably thinking, ew. It's meant to be like this. So basically, this is a Shangri-La Epipremnum, and it's a mutated kind, I believe. I think most of them are mutations of some kind of sort, but you get these cooked spinach leaves, and I wasn't the biggest fan when I saw them online, but when I saw it in person, I was like, you're weird. I need you immediately. And they can grow quite long and stuff, but this took quite a while to propagate, which is why it's only small, and I got it March, I believe. So it took a while to root, and there is actually some new growth in here, and this is just an empty lush pot that I keep it in with a little dish. So yeah, I don't blame you if you don't like this one. I'd say 70% of people hate this plant, and that's fine, but I just thought it looks so like creepy and like bleh. Like imagine this growing in a haunted house. So cool. Let me know what your opinion is on this one. I'm curious to see the ratio of how many people actually like this plant. It's just super cool. And this one I give kind of like a bright indirect light and water when it feels dry, so roughly every 2 weeks. That's a good thing with Epipremnum. You don't need to water them that much, and they let you know when they're thirsty because they go, Okay, so shall we go for something a little bit different? a little bit of Lexus. So this is a Stapelia, and you're probably thinking, oh, that's quite a boring succulent. Well, the blooms are insane. I will put a photo here of what the blooms look like. I haven't actually managed to get this one to bloom yet, as I've only had it, I think, for 1 year, and it's still quite small, but they can get really, really, really big, and they produce these huge, fake-looking, fluffy flowers that smell disgusting, and the whole purpose of them stinking that much is because they attract flies to pollinate it. So whenever that happens, I'll let you know, and I'll smell it for you. I'll let you know what it smells like. But even though it's not flowering now, it is still kind of spooky looking. It looks like little creepy little fingers. Yeah. And it's got a weird kind of velvety feel to it, which is quite nice. Yeah. I don't know exactly what kind of Stapelia this is. So let me know if you do know, because I'm not as knowledgeable with succulents as I am with like leafy plants. Super cool. Okay, so next one is another begonia, and honestly most begonia give me that kind of creepy feel. Like I've got a little hairy one, but it's not looking the best, so I didn't include it. But this one, oh, so this is one of my newest plants at the moment. Sad story with this one, I did actually grow it from a propagation, from just a stem, and it dried out while I was on holiday when we had a heat wave. Same old story, you know how it be. And because it was a freshly rooted propagation, it wasn't very strong, so I was very sad about that. And I'd been on the hunt for this for a long time, and I saw it, I think, where did I find it? I think it might have been Etsy actually, and oh, it's beautiful. This is a Begonia Burkillii. I always struggle to say that, Burkillii. And you're probably thinking, oh yeah, it looks a little bit spooky, but it has this haunting kind of blue shift to it, and it's really hard to get on camera. I'll try and include some footage here of what it looks like. It's kind of metallic almost. Now I'm not sure if this is the regular form or the dark form. I think it might just be the regular, but can you see that blister variegation? It's so beautiful. And not a lot of people know about this one. Obviously the begonia collectors, they'll know about this one. I just think begonia are so cool and so overlooked. I mean, they can be a little bit tricky. They can be thirsty kirsties, but I haven't really had an issue with this one so far. It's beautiful, and I want it to get absolutely huge. Huge. Okay, so next one is actually a Hoya. Ta-da! So this, you're probably thinking, meh, it's not that spooky. But I think it's quite spooky because this is a black margin one. We haven't had as much sunlight now as it's, you know, autumn. But when it gets really sun stressed, you get these gorgeous black tips on the edges. When they get really big, they just look really cool. Hoyas can be quite creepy looking anyway, because they put off these really big bony kind of looking tendrils. I just think it's really cool. Don't know if you can see, it looks like it's got abs. I'm just annoyed that it's not picking up the black rim. Oh, there you go, you can kind of see it there. Really cool. I love this plant so much. This was a cutting from a friend, so thank you very much. I think this is the plant that really got me into Hoya. And last but not least, can't do a spooky plant list without the philodendron Florida Ghost. I got this also from the Birmingham swap. This was the one that was on my wish list for the longest time because I had a little baby and it just kind of melted. I don't know, I must have been in the wrong soil. Sorry, I've got a dead leg. Ooh. But this one, I think super spooky. I know these leaves aren't fully mature yet, but you get this gorgeous milky white look to it. And when the leaves are bigger, they look like little ghosts. And I think it's such a cool and unique plant. The only thing is you do have to give it quite a lot of light, otherwise the leaves won't be as bright. But that's okay, I've got a few grow lights knocking about, so. But I just love this one so much. They used to be really expensive because they were one of those kind of trendy plants, but I'm so glad I got it in the swap because it's so my vibe. It's really different and I just love it. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. And I think that concludes my spooky ooky list. Let me know if you've got any spooky plant suggestions. I'm always on the hunt for a cool and weird plant. So I'll leave all my social medias down below. I hope you have a lovely day, whatever it is, wherever you are, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.